Okay, good morning all. I'm Dr. Tenwan Vikramasinghe, currently working in Sri Jayadarnapur General Hospital as medical officer in the cardiothoracic intensive care unit. So my task is to talk about money management during internship and hopefully after the internship. So as doctors, I've been going through the literature last few days to talk to you, and I have found that when you compare the different fields in world, doctors are the worst financial managers. We are out of worst lot. We are earning a lot, but we don't know how to manage our finances. So in this 20-minute session, I'm going to divide this into two parts. So first part will be a boasting session. So I'll be boasting about myself. So you will be sometime bored. And next session, I'll be boosting yourself. So I'll tell you how I have achieved the targets that I have got. So first of all, I'll tell about some basics about me. I'm 37 years old now. I'm an old royalist, graduated from a foreign university. And I'm into service for 10 years now. Started internship at DGH Polonnaruwa in 2010. And post-intern at BH Valachena, BH Gampala, National Hospital Kandy. And at last, I'm now at Sri Jayadarnapur General Hospital as the cardiothoracic MO intensive care unit. So I'm into the service for 10 years, and I'm married for 9 years now. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm married for 9 years. No, I was joking. Actually, I have a very good wife. And she has been working in People's Bank for 7.5 years and got resigned. And I have a kid for 5 years. My father is a retired bank manager and mother is a retired principal. And significantly, I am not doing any private practice. I have to tell that, no locum, no private practice. And I have no any inherited assets from my parents, no money, no properties. So everything I have today is earned by myself and developed by myself, utilized by myself and enjoyed by myself. So that is my basic story. So I'm going to tell you that what I have achieved for these 10 years. 9.5 years, 10th year is running. As a doctor in Sri Lankan context, we know that there are 3 main aspects that we are concerning on to do with our salary. The first thing is, number 1 is, we want to have a quality of life with a good house. We are thinking of building a good house. I think most of you are planning to do that, or most of you may have already got that. So one task is having a good house with us. And the second task we are having is, we want to have a good luxury vehicle. I'm not telling ultra luxuries, somewhat good quality vehicle. Everyone want to have a vehicle with us. Number 3, in Sri Lankan culture and Sri Lankan context, we wish that our children should be educated well. They should be educated well, and we want to we want to invest on their education. So these are the 3 main aspects we are concerned. There are a whole lot of 110,000 topics that we want to talk, expenses and all. But if we categorize these things into, prioritize these things to these three things will be come into our mind: good house, a good vehicle, and education of our children. So keep in mind these things. Why the doctors have become so much worst financial managers in the world is that we have very high expectations. The one reason is that we have very high expectations comparing to other fields. The number 2 is that most of our doctors are entering into the field in late ages. Other careers, they start at 23rd, 24, 25, but we start at around 30s. So we have an urge to finish things quickly. We want to build a house quickly, we get loans, we go to credit cards, we go to that bank, this bank, and when rates comes down, we again jump and get the loans. So we have an urge to finish things quickly because we are already 30 plus. But other careers, they are starting at 20, and once they come to 30, they are a bit stable. So because of these 2 reasons, while reading the literature last few days, I found out these are the main 2 reasons why doctors have failed in financial management. But I'm not going to tell you very hard tasks, impossible things, or things that you can't do, or very hard things during internship. This is not aeronautical science. I'm going to tell you very simple steps that I have gone through to achieve what I have got today. So I will simply tell you the income and expenses what I have managed throughout these 9 years. So this is basically my income and expense balance sheet. If you go through this one, you will understand that I have earned about 3 lakhs from my intern salary. And post-intern salary, if I average that one into 10 years, I have got about 175,000 per month. So 210 lakhs I have earned for this 9.5 years. Just imagine you will be earning more than this. Because my intern salary was 27,000, you will be earning around 60,000 intern salary. So you will be accumulating more than this. And my partner was working in People's Bank, and she has earned about 50,000 per month, for about 48 lakhs she has earned. And she had a bit of savings with her when I married her. It was 50 lakhs. And after 5 years of my service, I got my car permit, which I didn't utilize to buy a vehicle, because I had a vehicle at that time which was rather new. So I gave it to one of my cousin brother, and I got 19 lakhs for my permit. And for property loan, the bank property loan, the government property loan, I got 30 lakhs to build my house. So total amount that I have earned by today for these last 10 years comes to 360 lakhs. Imagine how much money is that, 360 lakhs. So why can't doctors save money? That is my only question I am asking. I have not done any PP. If you are going to start a PP, you will be earning more. And below is my breakdown, major expenses. I have built a modern house at Aturugiriya, 3-story house with 4,900 square feet, which cost about 200 lakhs for me. Actually, it is a bit more than that. Say it's 200. And I have a reasonable car, which cost about 40 lakhs. And for the last 9.5 years, I have traveled for 6 foreign countries with my wife. I have to tell that, with my wife. That cost me about 10 lakhs. And I have traveled to local hotels 22 times, 22 hotels. So it is about 5 lakhs. So you come to the sum, it's about 255 lakhs I have spent for these 10 years for these major expenses, house, car, and my leisure. So it comes to the balance, 105 lakhs is the balance that is available for 10 years. So when it comes to a month, it costs about 90,000 rupees per month. So can't you live with 90,000 rupees for a month? There are teachers who are earning 38,000 per month and running a family with 2-3 kids. So you have 90,000 for food, petrol, medicine, that bill, this bill, and whatever it is. And you can save also. So my calculation is that, I am not telling these are 100% accurate figures, but these are not incorrect, and there are no lies inside this. So I have managed to save 105 lakhs. Out of that, I have done my day-to-day expenses, and I have some reasonable savings also for some emergency. So I'm telling you, if you have the will, if you have the urge, if you have the capacity, you can do more than this. Because most of you will be marrying doctors, and they will be earning another amount of this amount again, double the amount. And some of you will be doing private practices, so you will be earning more. So if you have the urge, you can do more than me. So I don't want you to be inspired on me or admire about me. I want you to admire about yourself, to inspire about yourself. Then only you can go to the dream that you are thinking of. So if you are thinking that, if you want to see, this is my house, which I have built. I finished it last year, July. So I just wanted to show you this. So that's my boasting part is finished now. So I'm going to change over to the boosting part. So how I have done this and what I am asking you to do. So what I am asking you to do is, I'm going to tell you 4 concepts that you should have in your mind if you want to achieve the goals, at least what I have achieved in 10 years. The first thing is that you have to have a very strong mind. I know that being a medical doctor, starting internship and finishing your 5 years MBBS career and everything, definitely you all have a strong mind. But I want you to have that strong mind throughout your life, because after finishing internship, some are losing this strong mind capacity. They become chronics and that thing and this thing. So having a strong mind means හයිය හිතක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ කියන්නේ. හිත හයිය නම් මේ වැඩේ කරන්න පුළුවන්. So that is the main thing that you want to have. You have to have a very strong mind. If you want to become a person in your dreams, what you are thinking of, what your parents proud of. So number 2 is, you should be satisfied and you should be aimed on when you are purchasing something or when you are investing on something or when you are buying something. You should think about comfortability of your body and your eyes, not the comfortability of the others. දැන් කාර් එකක් ගන්න යනකොට that you are going to buy a vehicle and you are going to buy a Wagoner. And on the way you are calling a friend and telling මචං මම Wagoner එකක් ගන්න යනවා. Then what the friend saying, ඇයි Wagoner එකක් ගන්නේ? අපරාධනේ මේ කාලේ Wagoner එකක් ගන්නේ. You can go for Axio or whatever the Premium එකක් ගන්නකෝ. So what they are doing? So you also feel like අයියෝ මම මොකටද Wagoner එකක් ගන්නේ මාත් ගන්නවා Axio එකක්. So that is you are comforting the eyes and mind of the other people, not yourself. So you are going behind banks and loans and credit cards and all those things because you are trying to comfort others rather than yourself. So my second thing is, try to comfortable yourself, your eyes and your mind rather than others, because they don't come and clear your debts when you are in trouble. They don't come and pay your bills when you are in trouble. So just try to comfort yourself rather than your friends or that thing or that relation or other or anyone else. Number 3 is, you should have an urge to feel your life. The most of the doctors are just living the life. They are not feeling their life. So I want you to have the urge to live the life, feel the life. Say that we are going to live for 70 years. That is 25,500 days. I'm sure that most of us are not going to live more than 70 years. So it is 25,000 days, just 25,000 days, and we are almost 30 years past you all. So that means you have already spent 11,000 days of your life. Remaining is just 13,500. So don't you think that you should feel this life, remaining life at least? You have gone to schools, campus, MBBS, that thing, this thing. At least you should feel your life now. So that is my third thing, that you have to have the urge to feel your life. Number 4 is, the last one, you should have the ability to differentiate between the need and the greed. There are needs and there are greeds. අවශ්‍යතාවල් තියෙනවා, පෙරේතකම් තියෙනවා. So you should be able to differentiate what is your actual need and the greed. And you can go for needs. Say that you are going for a restaurant and you see the menu and there are expensive food and everything. You feel like eating this. It is your need. Just go and eat it. Enjoy it. I am not telling not to eat that one. I am not telling you to not to shopping, not to do shopping or not to buy expensive. No, not like that. Just you go for your needs, not for your greeds. If you don't have a need, don't buy it. So those 4 concepts, if you can manage within yourself, easily you can achieve what you are willing to, what you are thinking to. So I'm going to tell you short and sweet tips, maybe 6, 7, 8, 9 tips. And with those tips, I'll be finishing my session. So if you can do these things for yourself for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years, in 9, 10 years, you will be in a position much higher than me. Number 1 is, no smoking, no alcohol, please. There will be a lot of doctors who has been addicted to these things during university, medical college and thing. So please, if you are into smoking and alcohol, I'm requesting you to stop that one. That is number 1. That is the number 1 money drainer from us. When you start and when you go to that thing, you can't stop where you are going to stop. You can't stop that one. You will be dragging and you're wasting money. You don't know where you are going to stop and how much you are having money in your account. So if you are already addicted to this one, try to stop. And if you are not into this one, please don't start. Number 2, I'm kindly requesting you to note down your daily expenses and income. I have been doing this for last 10.5 years. I have been writing my daily income and daily expenses. I'm going to show you how I have written those expenses. You can use whatever you want. You can use in a laptop or you can do it in your whatever thing. So this is how I write my expenses. This is March 2020, this is February 2020, this is January 2020. If you go like this, I have been writing my expenses every day. I don't think it is a very hard task. It takes 1 minute for a day. At the end of the day, when I'm switching off this computer, I just enter the expenses on that day. And I'm not asking you to reduce any of these expenses at the end of the month. You just write your expenses. And at the end of the month, just have the sum. ගාන එකතු කරලා පල්ලෙහෙන් ලියලා තියන්න මෙච්චරක් මම මාසෙට වියදම් කරා කියලා. That is my second thing. And I'll show you how I wrote my income also. This is my income from starting of my career. If you go through, starting from my first salary, from my internship, up to 2020 August, that is last month's salary, I have my incomes here. So this is not very hard. When you get the salary slip, you can just write it down. If you have any other extra incomes, you can just write it down. So I'm telling you just to write your income and write your expenses. This will give you an idea how much you are getting and how much you are spending per month. And you will have an idea that how much you have spent more than last month and why you have spent that thing. So just keep a track on this. This will definitely help you to save some money. I'm not asking to reduce any expenses. You just write down and sum up at the end. Number 4 I'm asking is, first thing is smoking, second thing is expenses, third thing is income. Number 4 I'm asking is, get used to online banking, which I have done through last 5.5 or 6 years. Don't go and pay bills at the bill counters. It will cost you more than what you know. Parking, petrol, වාහනේ එහෙම damage වුණාම ඒක, පොලිමේ ඉන්න යන වෙලාව, රස්තිය ආදුව, lot of things you will save by changing into online banking. I am paying my almost all the bills, my bills and my parents' bills through online banking. So it will save you a lot. I have calculated for the last 5 years, roughly I have saved about 350,000 by using online banking. If you want, I can show you the breakdown. I'm not going to waste time on that. So 350,000 is a lot of money. So just change over to the online banking. Do your bankings in online system wherever it is possible. Number 4, credit cards and loans. These are the main money drainers of you. BOC is also there, so I'm not going to disturb anything. So I'm not telling you to don't buy credit cards. So I have 4 credit cards with me. And for the last 9.5 years, I have not paid a cent for interest. සතයක්වත් පොලි ගෙවලා නැහැ බැංකු credit card හතරටම. But I have utilized almost all the offers that bank have given me. So all the 22 hotels that I have gone are for the bank offers. So using a credit card in an efficient way will save you a lot of money. But if you are doing blunders with credit card, it is the only thing that you will need to lose your everything. And banks don't give you loans because they care a lot about you. Banks give loans because they earn from you. So get loans only if you need, only for your purpose. If you have a plan, if you have a dream, you take the loan. I told you that I got 30 lakhs loan from a property loan that I took just after completing my 5 years service. That's where I was eligible for that. At that time, I didn't have a land even to build my house. But I got this 30 lakhs. I deposited in the bank. And when I completed my house last year, I have almost paid 6 years of bank loan. I am left with only 4 years now. Because I had a plan to build the house, I got the loan and deposited there. So if you have a dream, plan for that dream. But don't go for loans because it is available. Don't take it as a granted. Credit card also same. If you are using a credit card, make sure that you pay the credit card bills on time. That is why you have a smartphone with you. You don't utilize your smartphones efficiently. You use it for WhatsApp and Viber and Facebook and that opadu pokkotama. But you don't put efficient reminders on your phone. I can show you a screenshot of my phone I just took yesterday night. That is a calendar. This is a screenshot. So all these are reminders that I am having down. These are the bill payment reminders, credit card payment reminders. So I don't pay a cent as interest to the bank. I get their offers and I don't pay them back. I just pay the amount that I have spent, no any interest. So that is very important. It saves a lot of money for you. And the other thing is, I'm requesting you to open a bank account without an ATM card. I have a bank account without an ATM card. And what I do is at the end of every month, I get the salary on 25th. On 26th, the balance was that the balance available at the account before I get the salary, I transfer that to the account without ATM card. So when I transfer that amount to that bank account without the ATM card, it saves there because I don't have an ATM card to go and withdraw it from the bank. Passbook is all hangala tiyena passbook ekak. So that account will remain as my savings account. That means a lot of money. At the end of 1 year, you will see how much you can save with this one. And the last thing I want to tell you, when you are purchasing things, when you are buying things, if you are eligible to buy 0% interest-free installment plans, go for them. Don't think that magalanga salli thiyena ekinda meka salli walata gannawa. If you have the offer, you just go for that installment thing rather than expensing your available money. You can pay in installments. So if you have at least 50% of what I said in your mind, I'm sure you will have a good future. I'm sure you will have a future without much debt, without much financial problems. So I'm wishing you all the best for your internship and all the endeavors beyond that. Thank you very much.